начинается.
I need intelligence data. Attention, cible repérée à cette position. I need intelligence data. À tous les bâtiments, cible stratégique repérée à cette position.
Торпеды по правому борту.
Demande d'appui-feu.
Команда противника получила преимущество.
I need intelligence data.
And again, he wants to smoke up, and it's understandable. He hasn't got the best detection. So, as I talk about in all my videos, remember to practice smoke firing. Use that last known indicator on the map, on the mini-map, which will help you sometimes if they don't move. And I feel like he's not moving at the moment, so I'm just aiming at where he was last spotted and where I last hit him. Now he has moved a little bit, because I fired in the exact same spot where I just hit before, but he's gone. So what I'm going to do now is just wait, because I want to get rid of him, and I'm going to use the angle of his torpedoes against him. See his torpedoes come out there? So I'm firing at where the angle would be, and got him in the smoke. That's the guy gone. Now we can move on to the next cap. Now the Kegaro was spotted over here, and what we need to do is get rid of him. He's the next threat. We also have to remember that we have a Cleveland over here, which can be very dangerous to an Ognevoi. I mean, the speed, Ognevoi's speed will get it out of a lot of trouble, but because you haven't really got the guns, you can't gunfight anything at close range, as I've been saying. So we're going to come into the cap. I'm just keeping my eye out here. What you want to do is, especially here with the two brothers, it's hotspot, sorry. If you come in this way in the hotspot, you want to make sure that you keep the islands in front of you, so then you have less enemies to see, less enemies to fight. And that's what you want to do with everything. As I always say, you know, you want to pick the engagements that give you the favourable numbers and advantage. So the Kekro is dropping smoke now. The only reason I can think that he's smoking up is that the Cleveland is going to come around the corner in the smoke, because as you saw, he kept moving forward. So I moved back out to see if we can spot him. There he is. He's not going to get hit by the torps, but he can't move because the torpedoes kept him in line. And now it's that 2-on-1 again. As you can see behind me is my Ismail, and the Ismail helps me and we finish him off. So we get that 1-on-2 advantage again. I'm using this island here. I know it's my role to spot, but there's no threat there now to my North Carolina or my Ismail. So I'm going to secure the cap. Once I secure this cap, we have all three caps. My team is in prime position to win if they don't get that thrown away. So I torpedo into the smoke. One of them looks like it's going to hit the island, but if the Cleveland pushes around into the smoke, then at least there's torpedoes already on the way there. I mean, the Cleveland does have hydro, yes, but people make mistakes all the time. So just while the radar is up, I'm just going to wait. My North Carolina can do what he wants over here. If he wants to try and bow tank a New Mex in a North Carolina and a Cleveland, go for it. Now if you're going to YOLO in like the North Carolina here, I would be shooting at the Cleveland and I would be ramming the North Carolina. So then you get a double kill, and you're trading 2 for 1. Trading 2 for 1 is a lot better than dying, and none of them have died. Now the Cleveland has got almost no health at all, so I'm happy to gunfight that and put him down. Now that's my biggest threat gone. I also got the torpedo and the flooding on the North Carolina, so what I want to do now, while I'm in my smoke and the North Carolina is spotting, I'm going to try and set a fire on it. Now our NC makes a mistake there by going broadside to their North Carolina. Either way, he was going to die because he pushed too far. He pushed too far and then got himself in between both the New Mex and the North Carolina. So you can't win that engagement. It's impossible to win that engagement. And our Ismail is now about to do the same. So I'm going to come out and use the Ismail as, I was going to use him as bait to distract the enemy ships while I go out and torpedo them. But now they know, or they should know at least, that the only thing in front of them was the last spotted destroyer. They're spotted, no one else is in range, it can only be the destroyer, or a destroyer. But we've got good stealth, and we've got good torpedoes that reload nice and quick, so we're going to use them to our advantage. I'm also going to try and hope, which is one thing that we do a lot in World of Warships, we're going to hope that the enemy sails in a straight line. Now, as you can see, I've got the indicator up. See, the indicator's moving, which means he's starting to turn in. Not only can you see it there that he's turning in, but you can also see it on the mini-map that he's turning in. So what I'm going to do is predict that he's going to continue to turn in, and I'm going to fire where I think he's going to turn to. Now, this is a skill that takes a lot of practice. Predictive torpedoes are extremely hard to hit because people don't do what you expect them to do. That's the hard thing with humans. Humans have always got their own ideas. They pull crazy Ivans all the time. So even though I'm expecting him to continue that turnaround, he may not. But he does, and that's all that I wanted. Now, one of our players is in the chat spamming no win. Yeah, with an attitude like that, mate, you're not going to win. So we get the Kraken. Love it. Always love a Kraken. Could have had ourselves a double strike, but the New Mexico didn't die fast enough. But that's alright. Kraken's good. So what I'm going to come back and do now is make sure that my team can see the enemy. So I'm going to just shadow the Duke of York, torpedo towards him, and make sure that we win by keeping him spotted from my team. Now, I'm in the chat there just saying, stay alive. If we stay alive, we will win. We've got the caps, we've got the ship advantage. Now, the Duke of York does have hydro, so it can be hard to torp him if he feels that he's under attack by a torpedo boat of any type. He will hit that hydro. If he has any hydro left, it'll be a little bit difficult to get him. So I torp in front of him. Now, I don't know if he's running the hydro, but these torps definitely aren't going to do anything. They're probably too far out. And I did fire. I probably shouldn't have fired. If I hadn't have fired, then there's more chance that he would have got hit. But I'm trying to bait him so that he doesn't keep firing towards the turpits. Yeah. If you're in a destroyer like this, you can bait your enemy to take heat off your allies, because everybody gets scared of destroyers for some reason. They start opening fire on them and forget what they're actually shooting at. Now, if they had have killed off the turpits first and the Nagato and then aimed for me, it might work. But the problem is when you're 3 caps down and you've got a destroyer and 2 battleships against you, it probably is the better idea to go after the destroyer, because the destroyer is the one that can just ghost you for the rest of the match. But anyway, I didn't land any torpedo hits there, unfortunately. So I'm just stalking around. It's that end of the battle type of play where you just stalk around and you torpedo towards things and you try to farm a little bit more damage, just to pad some of those stats. But like as I said, this is a fantastic torpedo boat. It's out of the rest of the line. It doesn't make any sense, but there's a lot of ships that are like that. You have the Fusion, for example, in the Pan-Asian line. It's a gunboat, not a hybrid, and so it can be really difficult to play. As I said to my brother, you don't play lines in this game, you play ships. But 61,768, not too bad. Kraken. Now, I know that all our ships that we killed were either low health or half health, but Kraken is still a top achievement. Finished on top, 2,057 base XP. Always a good game. You always want to carry. Remember, in World of Warships, you are the team, so make sure you carry the team. So how do we build our Ognevoi? Well, we want to go premium consumables, obviously, for everything. Now, as you can see, I've got the A hull. You want the A hull for this because it gives you the torpedo booster. Main armors mod 1, propulsion mod 1, Aiming Systems Mod 1, then you're going to have Propulsion Modification 2, and Concealment System Mod 1. They are the modules or the upgrades that we build in. Our commander points, as you can see, I've only got a 13 point Ovechkin, but I like to run Priority Target, and then it's a must-have to have Last Stand on all destroyers. Now Ovechkin gives you a real good boost with your Survivability Expert. Then after that we're going to run the Concealment Expert, and then for that torpedo spam you want to run Torpedo Armament Expertise. Now the Ognevoi A hull has 13,300 points of health. The Ognevoi B hull has 16,100. If you hadn't noticed there, I had 16,400 or 500, and that's because of Ovechkin. Ovechkin is such a worthwhile commander. If you have Ovechkin, I recommend to use him. As I was saying before, you don't learn lines in this game. If you play every line as if the tier 1 is the same as the tier 10, it's not going to work. You have to learn ships. Every different ship in the game has a different playstyle, different unique characteristics, and that's what makes World of Warships hard. It has such a high skill floor. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me, and stay safe out there.